One issue I make recently a youth summit in I call so now. I'm for youth to know a booming president. I think it's quite interesting looking at the various interpretation people are putting on that particular thing. You see, all that people have been trying to do is to dodge and avoid responsibility. Like a carefree society, we don't care about anything. Nobody is owning up to the situation. So assemble, just find the other guy and blame them, and don't own up to your responsibility. That is the point we find ourselves in right now. So here, what happened? It wasn't a political activity, and as a political activity, and yet partisan kind of way, say party for Nekushia, a Ghanaian youth and Asia. So the reaction from them when the president came to the stage, a clear demonstration of how dejected a Ghana for ye, how frustrated a Ghana for ye, how Ghana for ye about what is going on. So people must begin to realize at this point, Ghana for are not happy about what is going on. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm coming. Sorry. So, like I'm saying, Ghana youth at this point, I realize, Babi and Nemo Druno, the promises I make here in the past, and some dead man for Kanye. Now, more hear the current state of this particular economy. Never be a near corner. It's so frustrating, and you expect the president to accept responsibility and say, "Hey guys, I made these promises, I made these assurances." But at this time, no, said the can near money sanet here, near my go the other way around. Equally, I am disappointed. So you apologize to people and you enlist their support towards working, say you bet me up to 2 things in order. But we are talking about a person who has created a mess. A person who has placed Ghana at a very dangerous path, and we are all breathing through our necks, always and always get opportunity, and he ran away from responsibility, blame other people. Quite recently, not to Chroma, I can say Ghana situation, but we have because of Ukraine-Russia war, because of COVID-19. Some of us came out and debunked such assertion as nothing but a manufactured nonsense just to justify their reckless incompetence and failure. The president went ahead and carried that particular assertion to the UN General Assembly, and he was telling the world, "Oh, Ghana situation, we are suffering because of COVID-19." Then you begin to interrogate and ask critical questions. And then, how come Ghana's situation is different from all other countries? Because the COVID-19 pandemic wasn't limited to Ghana. So why is it that the inflation figures in Ghana is on the rooftop? About the same, and a dollar CD, Ghana at some point now you see the worst performing currency in the sub-region. Young Kwa, your debt to your GDP numbers no cost. Sika the service your debt. Young Kwa COVID-19 by Ukraine Russia war. Young Kwa to extend some said foreign your friends saying a diplomat or more, and very often they don't get involved in political local political whatever that goes on. But the Russian embassy in Ghana on 2 occasions was forced to issue a statement to debunk such foolish assertion that indeed Ghana's situation is Ghana is on the precipice because of Russian-Ukraine war, and they dare us to produce the evidence. At the end of the day, nobody was able to respond to them because the reasons are far-fetched. Because you and I know why we are here. The many foolish decisions we took in the past. We decided to crash banks when we could have come out with an innovative way of ensuring, say, at least you bet me a briefly setting fresh air into the bank without crashing them and ensuring that at least supervisory rule will be changed and certain other regulatory mechanisms will be brought in place. Ensure that banks will be sustainable. Because I told you, so in the United States in 2008, they suffered similar challenges. The Obama government then decided to come out with initiative, emergency package, making sure that at the end of the day, they were able to resuscitate and revitalize the sinking, assets and suffer some distress. That is what they did. So we see we could have done the same thing. Mergers and acquisitions, several options were available. Affecting economy. But out of political vendetta and retribution, this individual decided, said, no, and they crashed this bank. In crashing these banks, and they crashed jobs of Ghanaians. About 57,000 Ghanaians lost their job. Today they are sitting home. So bank manager Tifia Totopraku, look at the psychological trauma such people go through. On top of that, yes, for Omaisika over 25 billion, and yet they making all these reckless decisions. You think, say, you are blaming COVID-19 Russia war? COVID-19 sika ba kroma sabi nema nyansa nim na nedi sika no ye Zoom ya spending over $33 million million Ghana cedis ya the Zoom meeting na ya the funny expenditure ya the 63 million and one more Ghana for. When the finance minister was asked to account, he couldn't. So these are realities. Beckoning and the ordinary Ghanaian, the youth, are very receptive to political development, and as if they are privy to all these development and the many silly decisions the government has taken in the past. So and the influence of who say no, the kind of leadership, the kind of promises are buying that is not the delivery, and for that matter, we are disappointed. So we had the reaction. It was something that was flowing naturally from the people. First, the president has become a poster boy of failure. So whenever you see him, what comes to your mind is a failed state. And when you see a failed state, what do? So President Akufo-Addo has become a poster boy of a failed state. So wherever that you see him, he doesn't inspire, he doesn't engender confidence. You only see hopelessness and a bleak outlook. That is what you see. So what happened out there is a natural reaction that was spontaneous from Ghanaians to Nema Ekoso. That is why I think government officials who said, Baby Ghanaians are frustrated because people then sure say NDC sponsored people to go there. And I mean, how you explain that particular thing, those people were sponsored. It was a spontaneous reaction coming from the people. Nobody influenced anybody, because I told you the president has become a poster boy of a failed state. So when you see him, that will be your reaction. There are people who see the president on TV and they just shut the TV. But people who have decided to weave nonsense together, people have decided to manufacture nonsense and use it as a justification, because Asaba Kroma now we in NDC MPP politics, you lose its essence. Today, the Ghana's economy is trekking at the precipice. We are very likely to slip to perdition. What are the options? The only card I wear is to say IMF have engagement, say by your meeting to save the economy. But government on its part measures absolutely nothing. Those who don't forget the inflation numbers no cost. We had a government official who told us and it's true. There is absolutely nothing that they can do. Because dollar and approach your firefighting approach. You see a chasey abochi almost sika or kwan ho. Abochi for sure sika or kwan ho yen. What has to be done to ensure say dollar economy na ya dollarizing na and yet you kroma oko banks oko hotel e been charge in dollars, and there are certain expenses they only take dollars in this particular country. Government is there watching and supervising such nonsense to glide, and then say dollar this system you are blaming other people when you have allowed other people to use foreign currencies as a medium of exchange in your own country. You are aware Government officials in dollars in your modern, they don't even take it to the bank. They have it in their rooms to ensure say price no cost right. Then they also change and make money. How many ordinary people in Ghana have access to dollars? So solution you bet tailor solution your friends saying any problem now you face and yet disproportionate we are not interested in those things. It is about that kind of politics just for people to know say yeah baby, but in reality the economy on daily basis is sinking, waiting for IMF to come and save us. I have told you say IMF never saves. They don't. But going there 17th time no should tell you enough say save they don't. They only tell you to reprioritize whatever that you are doing. And they will stop you. Because amount of money we are taking from the MF isn't enough to say everything 7 years from where we are, because Mrs. who be paying now Maya within 4 years, you have access to over capital market in access and you're saying over $11 billion to the Bakruma. And now if you are chasing IMF for $3 billion a day, that is when you begin to access on our part in the government, what are the homegrown policies and measures they go acquainted to ensure say at least a bit more create sustainable job opportunities for people, and the economy not get to a level, and even nurses in this particular country, everybody is hesitant. People are going, investors are pulling out a chunk of money, I free chroma on monthly basis, and companies are pulling out because the economy is crumbling, and nobody will want to invest in arena or in the sika dema onya some faswana said near be called sideways. So you expect us to come out with a comprehensive program. That program will gear towards young your local solutions are because the approach has always been firefighting approach. Enti yebeye napko basa, no plan, no guarantees, no assurance. There were a lot of people who were being paid through NAPCO. They never even step or more and 9 hours baby so They never, because job no have. It's just a political win, just to win the argument. But on mine and your charity organization is over to Sika and you expect to get it back. Whenever a state invests Sika in something, there must be dividend able repeat just to repay. Anytime yes, Sika go down the drain, productive output be a manner. It means you are done, and that is the point Yakwa could do. Who are those thinking say you create job opportunity? My culture say I buy a serious say Chrome has a CIA. There are a lot of numbers yes I've been care homes crana nurses na or more auxiliary nurses and other programs na and diploma programs no for no. Can't we create care homes? Because people grow old every day, and there are a lot of people who might want somebody to take care of them. But when those structures are there, at the end of the day, we can post those individuals, because Ghanaians are leaving Ghana, a bit more UK, to do the same thing. There are a number of Ghanaians in the US who are doing the same home care. It's just a matter of just looking at the challenges, but you can all create job avenues and you absorb people. That is what you do. Railway na quite recently, you could buy and you could saw train back one and I'm quite so one who's a train being them chroma beam. I told you, sir, Sarnadi Numnesi Adiasono was just for the cameras and media persons, who has gone back to ask questions. The man who said training Amakra beam. But these are avenues, we can make them viable, we can make them live, because even in Chroma time then the railway industry was booming, a lot of Ghanaians were working there. Why can't we do the same thing, especially at the time traffic situation in Accra is worse? Why can't we do the same thing? Nobody is thinking. It is always about making money out of every situation. Because we have decided not to put reasonable men of conviction, men of wit, men of intellect, we have decided say you better throw more away, and then we put people we call so-called these politicians, and some of them don't even merit to be a village assemblyman, and they do more place at a very sensitive position, and what they do is so to prank this particular country into baby embassy. Because sometimes when you watch TV, when you listen to the narrative, when you listen to the conversation, and you see the kind of assertion and justification of some of these guys who parade themselves as ministers, board of directors, whatever, the basic explanation, what the man, what's here, then we show say, how can these people be occupying such sensitive position? Then you can imagine the kind of policy alternatives or make me the and then you appreciate where we are, because intellect, no wait, yeah, and then the man nipa de be leader, no. We have boxed all of them and then we are just putting people just like that because say until at the end of the day, no, the core element you go through all the. That is why I'm telling you, so if you are not careful, if we don't begin to look for leaders, if we don't begin to invest in people who can really do the work for us, a time will come, we are going to put a monkey at the Jubilee House. Because at this point, the reality is back on it. Sabi, obi and the team if you cry him say, baby a Ghana na media no. And that particular thing explaining justify why people will boo at the president, because my catcher say he mimics nothing but failure. And this such a situation happen as will be boo the president. Why would somebody go and say people were paid, people were sponsored to do that? Does it make sense? But yes, so you need myopic, narrow-minded individuals to take the stage and give you such an explanation. And these are people who man sensitive state institutions. They are never ready to own up. They are never ready to accept responsibility. They are never ready to accept the fact that, always and always trying to find the other guy and blame. To the extent that 6 years after Mahama exiting power, you have people who still look at him and say, Anapa, I was talking to Dr. Ren on Rainbow Radio in the UK, and I was telling them, say, at this point, it will not make sense for anybody to sit back and say, because Ufri said, previous administration will be now you've been in power for 6 good years. Evidence be a wagada. Any act of criminality be official will be a by now no esa why and some officer hama ye adia or deserve say or convicting. You should get your facts right and take him to court. That is the only way you convince people to accept the fact that indeed the guy did this, and for that matter, no, no. But until so with me, just shut up and fix the problem. Accept the responsibility and fix the problem. But one person, I won't go under COVID-19 Ukraine war. COVID-19. Mahama ka kwakobato into 1 hour about 6 years and then why? So you are at no fault. But if nothing at all, if you look at the way Ghana loses revenue, just look at the size of government alone. We have created your friend is saying a foolish size of government, and the amount of money that is being used to finance their daily activities. Look at the number of ministers. Akufo-Addo by catch say job not also so hurry. You are going fast. Appointed a larger size of government that has never been created in the history of this particular country before. What is the justification today? Now, what he has given us is a moribund government. A government that is so impotent to the extent that you even lack words to explain what particular government is. Failure and the emblem. We're still holding on to this huge size of government, and nobody on his right senses has realized the need. So no. Let us downsize government, especially at this difficulty time. No, let us cut down the size of government to ensure that the amount of money we saw government still walk around the convoy. And then, in the midst of all that has happened, the president travels across this particular country with the Akonya in a car, V8, Edinachi. Upon all the uproar, the reactions from Ghanaians, and you expect at least and come show people some level of respect, but still, car no nam so akasisem and yedenam kroma say. So such a person, what rule will he accommodate for himself, say, or because he doesn't even realize there is a problem. Because I told you, say, the president has created his own false sense of reality and our team. So he's away from us. What we see, he doesn't. Because after all, and that is it. It's the reason why we are unable to find solution, because I have told you so. Until you own up to the challenges and accept responsibility, say, oh guy, I am responsible. That is why a meeting, they will ask you to own up. Tell yourself, say, I'm in charge of my life. I am responsible for my life. The decisions that I make, and I can at the same time make those decisions. I am the master of my life. I have accepted, say, going forward, I am not doing it again because I am the CEO of my life enterprise. It is at that point only, and I will bring a certain intrinsic motivation to go ahead with your decision. But say, oh, blame oh, man, and be na me papa be na me na sefo. After all, it's not your fault. Into so some of these things are very crucial. So the reason why we are not getting solution to the problem is that the president has decided to block his mind. After all, he's not responsible. So why should I find reason? Why should I find this? And he has littered across the corridors of power a platoon of incompetent individuals who are largely family members. So he has created a cabal, a tiny band of family bandits. All they do is to rape this particular country. After all, nobody takes responsibility. That is what they are doing. And some of the decisions are more taken on daily basis they want. But nobody cares. Nobody's advising. Look at the Council of State. That's why I say I have a lot of respect for them. Would respect to more composition individuals are harmful. But at this point, who is looking at the face of the president and tell him that hard truth? They keep messing up on daily basis. Nobody seems to care, because after all, Council of State enemies. Enemies. But the estate I am trusted into people's care to ensure that we take care of the estate, so that we'll be able to leave a lasting legacy that will leave an indelible imprint on the minds and on the consciousness of Ghanaians. Those aspects, nobody's interested. People talk about Nkrumah leaving a lasting legacy. After this generation, the generation yet to come will talk about Nkrumah. Well, maybe Yasikao. Niamo ye and a Casamano. So who is the president in a lose touch with the reality? What about the platoon of individuals or more are they all bootlickers and sycophants? Can they reason? You don't have conviction. Why are we on this trajectory? The many things I had tata home say yeah, factories are bad. Factories no I may say go to Techiman. Okwa tomatoes in as a form from Akomada and Techima and Kranzan and as if that enclaves, that is what they do. And if government is really committed, say yes, set it up factory, why can't at least put up a big factory somewhere? Oh, people who say yes, this is indeed a factory that will even be running a shift 24/7. People come in and go. It is a Nipana tin in those who are commander on him said there is a market that is available, industry there straight on the then the output, because tea tomato na se for ye yisu majority na ye krafra man on neba kroma. Why can't we do something? Sabi ya nsu betim dia boa ye ho sabi ya sika na ya sesa kwa man on ne nyina beka kroma. Who is thinking? Solution, obviously, more common solution. We've been harping on the solution for so long. Say, amount of money we are throwing out. Yansa BNM say the big Kosi cathedral and for this amount of money, at least the Kosi factory back on Techiman. Can't we? But what we do is say, you're numb for our companies. And yan time of mine, sick and yan famana, non fan threatening a jumum. As to how much the state is realizing from that, we don't know. Near the someone that goes one DF whatever. I'm saying 1 FDF or whatever. 1 district, 1 factory. That is it. The stake of the state, in it, nobody knows. So Casa Preco, that has been in operation for so long, we don't care. where be your production house no one nsan ya ton ama amamfo awe wu romanya nsaketo go to your friend saying Coca-Cola junction ho na ko even baby a company no wo kra no anim ho ties kra be to no ho kra no omonto enso to account mfa ho. But these are people who are selling and some amamfo awe wu on daily basis. Social responsibility be no more render to society. Just go to Coca-Cola junction. I was Pentecost Road no so na kofa omo anim ho ko he kwan omo nam so ho. The whole Casapreco company honor, but ya pumping sika gum one district one factory. Even basic social corporate responsibility krano a kwan where ni mu no be yama car fa so akwakusi no omo nye ye boy ho abro ne tekruma ever pure company that has been existent for so long. Ya time of my sika na dia command when we can create our own, because that is the plan that Nkrumah took. That is what he did. Created a whole industrial city. Why can't we do the same thing? Because it is always about money. To the extent that the state is ready to invest even in avenues that will destroy this particular country. One aspect the galamsey by and ya buy munko for the shebush and the joy news interview saying documentary moye a soldier for gumurum and a mobile man for home to galamsey. So just so. Now me ametia, do I have the authority to command military men see enko gumuram no to galamsey? So therefore gumuram no mobile man for home ban and to galamsey. So can the government tell us they are not interested? The many evidence that came in the past, and we also saw government never took any steps. Yeah, she will be a prosecutor. So I know the day no the arena and also the China ni bano be to be. Whom do you blame? Because the state has no owner. The state has no owner. And the Obia can just come in and rip it and go. And that is what is happening, because Nipana yet entrusted the state into their own, to their hands to protect their state. You know, they are the very people who are ripping their state. So Makase, it is about time, say, you to know, we cannot just shut up. No. That is not an option. And nobody can dare to say or intimidate it. Say you should no. Stage na yaba bedru no. We have crossed the Rubicon. There is no going back. And nobody is taking arms. No. Me say your collective success and ally in the kind of new narrative that is going on. Traditional media, no, they all do any to almost because just like the sports journalists are make us a sycophants in a year tone yom say common take it team nature to coin, you know. Nyansa in nipa de year juma. Now they don't even know their left from their right. What's the documents in the mobile? They don't even know how to read it. Sang sabi nkasa huna nyansa nim sa abaya na ye jako. So nobody is asking critical questions. We are dealing with a bunch of individuals who are really knowledgeable, who know their left from their right. It's the same thing has to do with the political media. And names and a celebrity. Obekato a maternal radio so for 30 good years. My then what radio so for 30 good years, no Ghana and Atitia Pan Sam for so bena about 30 now. What has been your contribution? Incisive and critical analysis. Yes, I bit me putty. Holders of power, office holders and on checks, you know, you are not doing that. You sit on TV and say, I have been here for 30 years. You are just shameless bunch of individuals. Because you are nothing but dogs who are guiding these criminals to rip their state. That is, you are nothing more than dogs who are guarding the criminals who are ripping their state. In the end, you know, you go and feed with them. So don't be surprised. Journalists or multi-chroma maternal radios for 30 years, running to government for board executive for GJG position. What will be your moral conviction? I have told you that me is supposed to act as a bridge between the folks on the ground and government, intermediary. Your job is to take their problems, you amplify so that policymakers will hear and address them. At no point in time must a journalist be acting as a dog, tied to the apron strings and the conveniences of those in power. But that is what we have. We are saying about recognize. We are saying about Mosika. About talk amount. That is what they do. So in the media not shaking the core responsibility, just feeding with those who are wrecking this particular country. But today, thanks to the new media, The new media now at this particular platform trying to flip the other side of the conversation so that the ordinary and the ordinary Ghanaian will get the other side. So people are unable to control the narrative. We are spinning the other side. I am not here to force anybody to make a decision, but the critical ingredients are over here, and use it as a block. I bet me I take your decision. That is what we provide, so that in the end, you make your own decision. And those of you sending message in a third force, my culture says you can't run ahead of yourself. Nema, what is happening here? The same situation that started in France some time ago. France started here and using that monarchical system. The papal authority, Pope, and as for like the monarchs and the, in short, the first estate and the second estate, and then hover around France. Some level of conversation triggered, and people began speaking among themselves, exposing how corrupt the wealthers of the estate were. People were having conversations. So the mystery around them, was demystified, because but the people saw them as God. People saw them as, hey, when they encounter. But when that conversation started, and people realized, no. How come somebody will have a rich man will have a single vote, and you need 5 votes from poor folks before their vote can equate way, So people began having that particular conversation. It got to the level, the first estate and the second estate lightened. That is what led to the French Revolution. And in the end, what happened? It laid the foundation for a solid democracy. I am France a thrive here, and then look at where France is today. So that is how it is. So we are just hastening slowly, not quickly. Hastening slowly, just to let the message go down. My culture said, if we don't begin to amend and change our psyche, and even Jesus Christ emerged today as president of Ghana, he will never survive, because over your president now, citizens will be the same ignorant people who don't know their left from their right, and it's the same NDC MPP politics. Now you find justification in everything. The same measure will be used to, and you can survive. So I look at them when he came, fresh ideas, everything. He had vision. Were so narrow-minded, block-minded. They fixated on personal gains and stuff. So they saw him as a threat. So despite all the knowledge, everything that Nkrumah had, working toward Ghana's progress, those people were doing everything to stop him, to thwart him. So this whole thing is never for one person. You need a larger chunk of people to flip into the ship. You get to a time you have a pool of an enlightened group of people who know their left from their right. And trust me, what has to be done will come by itself. Yes. It's about a collective decision. No. It will come by itself. Because you see, America for some time now, from 2003, terrorist attack, subsequently, some of the decisions to go to war, this blah blah back and forth. It got to a time the average Ghanaian, the average American became so much frustrated about the entire establishment. So at some point, it wasn't about Republican or Democrat again. People became so much frustrated that why can't we have our peace? Why we always investing much in war? And then as a form, so the American realized, said, no. This is the time for us to change. So there was a switch from the establishment. That is why Donald Trump was able to win and become American president, because people lost trust in the existing establishment. They decided, say, okay, then we need somebody who is not a politician, an outsider. And Donald Trump presented himself as the lamb for that sacrifice. He took advantage of the situation and he won the elections because people became so much frustrated. A lot. So they needed an outsider, a Washington outsider. And that is what brought Trump in. So the power to change our own destinies in the end, you're wealthy, but you hear and sana how to use it. And that is what you are doing, raising the social consciousness and the political awakening of people. We need to be awakened socially and politically. Na power na won uhu asutumi a me say nema e koso wo political arena de nyina no eto betwa. UK and US, they all have 2 political parties and stuff. But I'm say the people are so much enlightened and as if you can't take them for granted. Because when the politician is sitting out there, he knows he's dealing with enlightened minds, and they can't just come and cook any nonsense, just like your friends saying your president call UN assembly telling people say, oh, Ukraine-Russia war, COVID-19 pandemic, because he knows there is people are not sensible and nobody will ask the other side. Why is Cote d'Ivoire not faltering? Why is Togo not faltering? Why are other countries not faltering? Why is it that our situation is worse? Even countries in the northern part of Africa, our money, Russia and Ukraine engage in trade at a large percentage terms. Why are they not complaining? Why is our situation there? These are questions, but he knows these are gullible individuals. So we can just cook any nonsense, throw it on them, and we have dogs in the media who guard the narrative and try to justify it. Yes, so the traditional media now go to their platform and you try to sway the conversation away from Ukraine-Russia war. Then they'll be telling you, now say the way thereby affected but he doesn't have the mind to do research and know say the situation, the effect of those things on countries universal, but individual countries, how you position yourself and determine the kind of economic prospect or at this point, I might be a no. And you know, your friend saying, Joe Biden. The last time I told you, sir, he was coming out with the policy. Student loan less than $10,000, and he was going to give them a reprieve. And that particular policy is in play. So, be a school America or J loan from a buying her below $10,000. Yeah, that's how. They are doing this at a very difficult time. Yes, Ghana's economy is different from that of the United States, so we can't do that comparison. But I'm telling you, government has a responsibility at least to do something to mitigate the effect amount for a go through. But he doesn't see it. He doesn't accept responsibility. And he will have docs in the media who will help him to guide that narrative, and they will throw it, and they will win. So it is up to you. Me say it doesn't matter whether you are educated or not. Now the one go school say be wadwen just seek knowledge. Now you see, just put yourself within the context of what is right, what is wrong. It's simple. No hard feelings, no Akufo-Addo, no Mahama, nothing. It is about what is wrong, it is about what is right. If you find your answer, you're good to go with the argument. That is the only way we can change the political course of this particular country. Now, if we will begin to go blindly and begin to think foolishly in the manner we are doing right now, always trying to find justification where the president will go to youth assembly like a summit like this, and people will willingly boo at him at a non-political event for him to accept responsibility and say, it is coming because I have failed. No. You have certain narrow, twisted minds out there who are trying to say individuals no more and NDC sponsored them. And so every time there we try to balance the stakes by using partisan explanations, and that is how we can get away with it. So in the end, Akufo-Addo is popular. NDC for the course of and that is the politics we've been doing for so long. So we really need to change. That is the only way we can survive. We really need to change the narrative. I think that time is far spent. We've done 1 hour 30 minutes, and I'm not sure. So let's end it here. Maybe this week we will try as much as we can to come up with another one, and we will know, sir, at least. So make on a last message and say yenina no yenye yabin say yebema yadwen ya adwuma the kind of politics that we are doing. Raw emotions, no. Ask relevant, critical questions. Obi can say, one kasano, just put it down. Not forward and far who knows asema nipa can say here. Don't swallow anything that you hear. And when you are making political decisions, make sure say you are making right choices, because wrong political decisions are making and then the consequences are far-reaching and far more consequential, and you cannot risk getting it wrong at no point in time. Imagine going into the post-2020 and voting for Akufo-Addo. Look at where we are. You are dealing with somebody who he doesn't even realize that there is a problem. He doesn't realize that we have a problem. And even if there is, he is not responsible after being at the head of affairs for 6 good years. But this is a guy who had the political fringes on a daily basis, was heaping nothing but criticism, was charging people to pick arms, to show and a whole lot of stuff. Today, he's comfortable in power, and he has succeeded in rounding around him a bunch of sycophants and bootlickers who look him in the face and tell him what he wants to hear. So the hard truth, he's always mixing up it. No policy alternative, no action plan, absolutely nothing is being done to salvage the situation. And Ghana, with all our resources, with everything that we have, our only hope is the IMF coming to give us $3 billion. Your mind number, your debt to your GDP. Now, I have told you, sir, IMF will not just carry their money and give it to us. Debt, every profile, the real state of Ghana's economy and some of the more the amount. Because all the Bosnian yade companies and corporations and agencies create special purpose vehicle. They will make sure that money will be accounted for. Because your mind Ghana ka an individual ka. So Cocoa Board can order no. Esla Bosnian get funds and several other Bosnian yakwakoji set box sites and then sign those monies, they will make sure they walk into it and get a clearer picture of the real state of Ghana's economy. It's a picture not very and we show at the pointer, and even investor confidence in Ghana's economy shattered and broken. I told you that at the early stage in this particular year, so most of the major companies were leaving this particular country. So see, Vodafone, a company about Krumana, is struggling to leave. Because the arena is no longer conducive for business. And there are several others. Because the economy is no longer thriving. But people who are supposed to know, they don't see there is a problem. So let us pick up the challenge. Insist on the right thing to be done. That is the only way you bet me and you be from the situation. So I think we've gone a bit far. We come back again. Let's end it here, and some other time, we can continue.